Alright everyone, so we are going to now move on to our second project, which is our strainer pour. So go ahead and grab whatever colors of paint you're going to use. You're going to need your pouring medium. Myself and Deja, my assistant, is going to be both doing a canvas, so we want you to see what it looks like on black canvas and on the white canvas, so you can decide which canvas you want to use for this project. We put our canvases on a tray. The tray is completely optional. It's just so that we can move it out of the way to make it easier when we're trying to, do another project on our table. I usually use a cookie tray that's lined with foil or parchment paper or something. So you can do that if you want to. In addition, you'll need your push pins. You'll need the strainer. You're gonna need about 3 or 4 of your little medicine cups. You need your squeeze bottle. I gave all my squeeze bottles away, so I'm going to be doing this project with this larger bottle that I just had, in the studio. But you're going to need your squeeze bottle, either your white base or your black base, depending on which canvas you're doing. For the white canvas, we use the white base. On the black canvas, we use the black base. Okay? But grab your bottle because we're going to be mixing up the base. You can grab some of your popsicle sticks, and if this is the first project that you're starting with, make sure you've covered your table with your tarp to protect it and use your gloves, okay? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the project. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. I'll let you know as we go along. Alrighty? The first thing that you're going to do with your canvas is you are actually going to go ahead and prep your canvas. So again, you can put it on top of a tray if you want. You could also put it inside the cardboard box that came with the kit. But in order to prep it, it's very simple. You're going to take 4 of your push pins. Be careful, don't stick yourself. You're going to go to the back of your canvas, and you're going to push a push pin into each of the 4 corners. So we're basically making a base so that our canvas will be a little bit elevated up off of the tray. You're going to need a little force, so don't be afraid to stand up and really push it in there, or you may have to wiggle it, whatever you need to do. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way in, but once you get them in, you want to turn it around and you want to try to get it to look as level as possible. Can you do it without this? Absolutely. Another trick would be to take 4 cups and sit your canvas on top of the cups in the 4 corners. Sit your canvas on top of that. I prefer the push pins, even though, it's sometimes a struggle to get in. Once you have your push pins in your canvas, you can actually move your canvas to the side for a minute so you can mix up your paint. So we are going to start by mixing our base, okay? And I'm going to do a white base, and Miss Deja here is going to do the black base for you, okay? So, grab your squeeze bottle. Your squeeze bottle should have markings on it that you'll use to follow along this recipe. Some of them you may have to guesstimate a little bit. There's a lot of forgiveness in this particular project, okay? So we're going to start with our pouring medium. You're going to add 1 ounce of pouring medium into your base bottle, okay? Next, you're going to add a 1/2 ounce of the paint. So since I'm doing white, I need to add a 1/2 ounce of white paint into my container. So again, use your marking so that you can figure out where to put it. Then we're going to add that into our pouring medium. So at this point, I want you to go ahead and put the cap on your bottle. Make sure it's on good, because I I don't want no accidents out there. Hold that top and give it a shake. We want to mix that up. Next, you're going to open it back up and you're going to add in a 1/4 ounce of water, because we're going to thin this down a little bit more, okay? So we're going to go ahead and add in a 1/4 ounce of water. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to shake it up again. And that's our base, folks. Our white base and our black base. So we're gonna do 3 colors each. You can do whatever you want. We're gonna do 3. We're gonna mix our colors, so you get to decide what colors you're gonna do. We're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio. We're gonna do a 1/4 ounce of our color and a 1/4 ounce of our pouring medium. So in total, our cups should have a 1/2 ounce of the paint mixture in it. So again, you can decide whatever colors you want to do. You may have to go back to your old school mixing in primary colors and tertiary colors and all that stuff to make your mixes. So I know for me, I love purple, so of course I'm going to put some purple in there. So go ahead and start mixing. Mix your colors. You need at least 3, or you could do 4. Choice is yours. Once you have your 1/4 ounce of paint into all of your cups and you have it mixed the way you want it, then add in your pouring medium. We are going to do a dirty strainer pour. Dirty pour basically just means that we're going to add all of our paint into one larger cup, and then we're going to pour it onto our canvas, but we're going to do it through a strainer. I know, you're like, Sherry's crazy. Y'all always say that. Okay, anyway, you can do this in any order that you want. You could do a color and then put white, and another color and put white, or you could just do them all in, like, you know, white, purple, blue, dark blue, white, purple, like whatever order you want to do. Just repeat that same order consistently throughout. What we're going to do is we're going to add a layer of paint into the bottom of the cup, and then we're going to pour the next color right directly on top of that layer, right in the center of it, and then we'll keep doing that until we have all of our paint in this cup. Alright? So I'm going to do that, you do that, Miss Deja's going to do that, and then we'll be back. Oh, and one more thing, I decided to add a 4th color, so I'm going to be doing 4 colors. Miss Deja's going to do 3 colors, and so you'll get to see what it looks like in terms of doing 3 colors and 4 colors, so you can decide how many you want. Always stir, always give your colors a stir before you pour them into your cup. Once you have your paint into your cup, don't mix it, don't stir it. Just let it chill on the side for a minute and get your canvas back on the table. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we want to put our base on. Give it another shake, and then you're going to pour paint directly into the center of your canvas. Woo! So now what you're going to do is you want to spread this around. So you can do the rolly method where you just let it roll to the edges. You could also spread it with your paint spreader. Or you could do what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and get in here with my fingers. So all we're going to do is we want to make sure that the base is getting all the way around the canvas. The reason that we're adding the base on is so that when we add our other colors, there'll be some fluidity already on the canvas to help the colors move a little bit better. You want it to be as even as possible. The best you can do with, your fingers. Or again, you can use your your paint spreader spatula, or you can use a popsicle stick even. Get it as even as you can. Also, don't forget your edges, so don't be afraid to take your fingers and run them around the four edges. It's probably a good idea to have some paper towel handy so you can wipe your glove off if you need to. Okay, after we are happy with that, now we're going to take our strainer and literally sit it smack in the middle of our canvas, just like that. Then we're going to take our cup of paint that we've layered, and we're going to pour it into the strainer, and we're going to do those circles that, we're going to do circles. So I'm just going to do circles all around like this. And then after we do that, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait like 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes or so until all of the paint goes through the strainer. So just chill for a minute and we'll be back. So after 5 minutes, if you still have a lot of paint and it looks like it's still moving, then you could let it sit for a couple more minutes. But if you feel like the paint is no longer moving, then we can move on to the next step here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully lift my strainer straight up and let anything that is under it continue to drip. And then I'm going to sit my strainer to the side, away from my canvas. Wow. So now I'm going to pick my canvas up and I'm going to literally tilt it because I want that paint to move. I'm going to tilt it, and as soon as it gets to the edge, I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to bring it to the other edge. Don't be afraid, Deja. I'm going to turn so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to turn. And then I'm going to stop it when it gets to that edge, and we're going to go to the other edge over here. Okay, and then our final edge. Come on, paint, you can do it. It's going. Okay, and then voila, there we is. That's your piece of art. So I'm just going to sit it down. Alright, so I have a torch lighter here. I use it to light candles or the grill or whatever. If you do have bubbles that are popping up after like a minute or so, what you can do is just literally take this lighter and run it over the top You don't want to touch it. You just want to hover it over the top of it, and that'll pop any bubbles that you have. It also helps the cells to come out. So that's what I would use. Alright, so here's the bad news bears, y'all. Because there's so much paint on here, it takes a really long time to dry. So you actually need to let this sit for 48 to 72 hours before it's dry, okay? And then once it's dry, remember we're using a matte paint. So it's not going to be glossy.